Main feature really is the shape of the building. It's been built in a triangular shape so that it offers people the opportunity to walk right through the building. In the centre of our triangle, we have a fantastic open plan garden space, which is very secure, but it also offers people the opportunity to go out into the garden and use it independently. We have 2 communities in our ground floor and 2 communities in our upper floor. And in the centre of that, we have a place where everybody comes together called the Market Square. And that's really about people joining together to enjoy life and, to occupy themselves. We've tried to use natural light where we can. All round the outside of the building, the windows are down to the floor so that, anything that comes through the daylight is the best that we can get it. But the corridors down the middle of the communities don't have any natural light, but we have them very well lit so that people can see, where they're going and they can see what's around them, if you like. The space in the corridors as well, sometimes they're 8 feet wide, so it allows people to pass without any interactions. People often have spatial awareness issues that are in our nursing communities, so they might not move out the way when somebody comes, or they might walk into people. So because of the space there, we avoid most of those conflicts.
When a resident gets agitated, we often take them down the corridors because it's a quiet place usually, just to have a walk down and then have a sit down where the birds are, then just sit in a different room. And it's more quiet, you can talk to them more easily. If you just take them out of the noise and just sit them down somewhere quiet, it's so much better to just get through to them, calm them down and then take them back, and they're so much more relaxed.
We've tried to go for plain coloured carpets. We've not got anything that's got a pattern on it. And we've tried to run that through the building, particularly in the communal areas. We have gone for some wooden flooring in the dining area, really for cleanliness reasons, and we've tried to minimise the connection between those two. We had silver gripper bars originally separating the 2 areas. However, people were finding them quite a hazard really. People were stepping over them thinking it was a step up. So we actually did a little bit of research, and we found that the gold coloured gripper bars were less reflective. So we've actually replaced them, and people are having less problems with that. We very rarely find people trying to step up over it now. Although we have open plan areas, each space is very distinct, so you still know it's a dining room, you still know it's a lounge, you still know it's an activity area. There are open plan book spaces between each area to make it distinct, but that then offers cues to people who are maybe sitting in the lounge, they see something happening in the activity area, and then they can that draws them into the activities. So people actually can see all around them what's happening.
It's brilliant to see what's going on around you and to make sure that, the residents are safe. We can look after one resident, but while we're looking after one, we can keep an eye on the rest of them. So that's brilliant.
There is some evidence to show that people with dementia don't do well in an enclosed space with closed doors because they don't always get up and look out. Whereas if you actually have an open plan space, people will actually get up and move into areas. It's like visual cues so that they actually engage and interact with what's happening in the environment. Any toilet area in the whole of the lodge has a bright yellow door. It's just a colour cue that we find actually helps quite a lot of people with dementia. It doesn't work for everybody, but it does work for quite a few people. And we find it maintains independence, and it also preserves dignity because people can then find the toilet quite easy. In relation to doors that we don't want people to use, like the sluice, we colour them the same as the natural walls so that it doesn't draw people towards that. Everybody has their own front door, just like in an apartment block, really. What we've done is we've sourced a different colour for every single apartment door in the building, and that was no mean feat. They also have a number plate on it that's easy to see, it stands out. And some people have also, they've got little wayfinders, so they have little pots or things outside their front door like you would have at home. When they see the little pot or the umbrella stand, they remember that that's where they live.
For the residents to find their own way to the apartment is really good because their independence is boosted again, you know. They've found their own room with their own furniture, with their own toiletries and stuff, their own clothes.